And today I'll be giving my informative speech on Cleopatra. Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt, had a life filled with murder, affairs, and war, which ended in her own gruesome death. Growing up, Cleopatra was educated in science, math, medicine, and astronomy. Her activities included sailing and horseback riding. She had 5 other siblings, 2 older sisters, and 2 younger brothers, and a younger sister. Growing up, Cleopatra's father as ruler, was not well liked by the people, so he was exiled, which left her older sisters Bernice and Cleopatra the 11th as rulers. A year later, Bernice had poisoned Cleopatra the 11th's food, and she then died, leaving Bernice as sole ruler. When Bernice's father came back, he had her beheaded because of her actions, which then led him as king again. In the spring of 51 BC, Cleopatra's father became ill and died, leaving Cleopatra at 18 the ruler. Because she couldn't rule on her own, she had then married her younger brother, and so they ruled together, but her younger brother did not like that they were ruling together, so he had her exiled. This angered Cleopatra, so she got an army together in her exile, which started the Alexandrian War. And this war was between Cleopatra and her brother for control of Egypt. Julius Caesar at the time, who was a powerful ruler of Rome, decided he didn't want to have a war with Egypt. So he went to Egypt and asked for Cleopatra and her younger brother to get together and they could talk about their problems. Because Cleopatra was in exile, she wouldn't be able to come back into the country without being caught by her younger brother's warriors. So she came wrapped up in a rug and was delivered to Julius Caesar. Because of her bold actions, Julius Caesar was very well enthused by this and decided just to make her ruler. Afterwards, Julius Caesar and Cleopatra began to have an affair together, which Julius Caesar kept a secret from the people of Rome because they would not be very happy that he was with someone from Egypt. Over the years, Cleopatra and Julius Caesar had a kid together named Caesarion, and Julius Caesar decided that he wanted to bring them both to Rome so he could marry Cleopatra. Once they got to Rome, Julius Caesar unfortunately was stabbed and killed, so Cleopatra, fearing for her and her son's life, fled back to Egypt. After Julius Caesar's death, the rulings of Rome were split between Octavian and Mark Antony. Mark Antony was in great debt, and he was really attracted to Egypt because of his wealth, so he decided to go to Egypt to pursue Cleopatra and to woo her, to have her fall in love with him. Cleopatra knew about this plan, so she decided just to go along with it because she needed protection for her country. So Cleopatra and Mark Antony ended up falling in love, and they had 3 kids together. When Octavian heard about this affair, he got very angry and decided to start a war against Mark Antony for the entire control of Rome. This started the Octavian War. Cleopatra's troops had no chance against Octavian, and they soon were beat. So after Cleopatra's army had lost and Mark Antony was killed in battle, Cleopatra became very upset and decided to kill herself with a poisonous snake. After Cleopatra killed herself, Octavian murdered her son Caesarion and her remaining younger siblings. He also took in her 3 children from Mark Antony, and they were raised in Rome by his older sister Octavia. So in conclusion, Cleopatra's life was filled with murder, consisting of all 5 of her siblings murdered and her husbands. She also had a life filled with war, including the Octavian and Alexandrian. Her life also included a gruesome death, which resulted in her own suicide. Thank you.